What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review Judas and the Black Messiah. I am a revolutionary. Alright, let's do a quick intro. FBI informant William O'Neill is sent undercover to betray the chairman of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. Okay, enough of that. Let's get right into the good.
The good.
First of all, I love the way this movie was introduced and just how it was set up. Director Shaka King made a smart decision to splice real-life footage, almost in a documentary style, to illustrate the sentiment of that time. It was a really nice contrast to have the perception of the group at that time be juxtaposed against some of white America, but more importantly, the government agencies that mistaken them to be a terrorist organization. The director Shaka King also did a nice job of using these dynamics throughout the film to illustrate some of the more modern parallels of worldviews that still exist to this day. You can also see more of that contrast through the two main characters and the story itself. From the title alone, we already know that there's a direct correlation being made to the biblical story of Judas and Jesus Christ. The way this movie was able to adapt and align the two stories and figures, I thought was pretty fascinating. The theme of betrayal and the fight for justice and peace were certainly intriguing to see come to a clash. Now, I think the most obvious standout for Judas and the Black Messiah is obviously Daniel Kaluuya. His performance was captivating from the moment he got on screen to the end of the movie. It's almost a shame that he was pegged as just the supporting character in the film, because he certainly steals the scene every single time. The best part of his acting here is the amount of passion that he puts in his speeches and the level of commitment that Kaluuya put into transforming himself into Fred Hampton. I mean, when it came to his voice, the charisma, or his mannerisms, he totally sells you on the idea that he is actually the chairman of the Black Panther Party. Above everything else, Kaluuya humanized Fred Hampton to bring him to a point where you can't help but to sympathize, not just for him, but also his righteous cause for peace and unity between all races and classes. Besides the premise of betrayal, it's really the pockets of suspense that's really going to be a highlight for this film as well. You'll have a number of scenes where the big secret may or may not be revealed with Stanfield's character, and each time you can't help but to pay more attention. One scene that comes to mind is when the Panthers had their interaction with a local gang. The fact that you start to feel the same level of tension as the characters on screen at the same time is just a testament of really good storytelling. Alright, enough of that, let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
Now, I will admit this is nitpicking and it is a minor issue. It's not really that big of a deal, but one thing that did stand out to me was, well, Stanfield's acting in some scenes. I thought he kind of overacted in a few scenes, trying to overplay the fact that he was being nervous while trying to deceive other people. What was odd about this was that it just felt a little bit extra because we already knew his true intentions. Yet the way he acted in some scenes felt almost like a TV sitcom actor trying not to blow his cover. So either the real-life William O'Neill was a terrible actor in real life when he was undercover with the Panthers, or Stanfield needed to dial things back a bit, and I'm inclined to believe the latter. And let me reiterate, Stanfield did a really good job overall, and this is just a nitpick because, you know, I'm a film critic. I'm gonna pay attention to little things that other people probably won't care about. Now, outside of that, the only other minor issue I had was probably in the depiction of the Black Panther Party. There were about two scenes that showed the members in some compromising positions. I'm specifically thinking of Algie Smith's character's scene. You'll definitely know it when you see it. Now, if those events transpired as they were played out, then this is a moot point. However, if they were included for just, I don't know, creative purposes, then my concern is how it may distract some viewers from who or what the Black Panthers were actually about. I just thought that those scenes didn't really need to be seen. I think it would have carried a lot more weight if some of those scenes were mentioned in the movie and allowed the characters to just react to the news. I just know that some people get easily distracted when they see something versus when something is implied in the movie instead. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the reason.
The reason.
Judas and the Black Messiah is a bold and unapologetic drama that amplifies the life and mission of the late Fred Hampton. If its goal is to uplift Fred Hampton and his revolutionary message of the time, then it won that battle without a doubt. I'm hesitant to call this movie timely, not because it isn't, but because movies like this are always timely. The fight for racial and class justice is nothing new and ever consistent. It's the same story over and over again, and that's evident from the fact that this story is such a stark parallel to the biblical story from over 2,000 years ago. And let me just say this for the people in the back. Daniel Kaluuya just shot his name all the way to the top of the list for the Best Supporting Actor nomination awards. He really dug into this role, and that is going to be the brightest spot for this film. I think Kaluuya and the film overall demonstrated some much needed depictions of the group that run contrary to what modern day political talking heads paint them out to be. I mean, look, Kaluuya had me sitting here feeling like a revolutionary right along with the rest of the people in the movie. Anyway, when it comes to the rating for Judas and the Black Messiah, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, I'm not going to say that this movie should be used for like historical references or resources, but I do believe that it should inspire people to actually go out and learn more about the Black Panther Party and Fred Hampton too. Now, after watching this, I went back to go watch Eyes on the Prize, the documentary, and in it, William O'Neill, basically the character that LaKeith Stanfield played, he was featured on that documentary. And one thing that I kind of noticed was that he felt very, I don't know, indifferent, uncaring, unsympathetic. And I felt like it was a bigger contrast compared to what LaKeith Stanfield tried to portray in the film. Maybe that was intentional. Maybe that was just some, creative licenses. I don't know. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me when real life stories and real life people are depicted differently than what actually happened. Because unfortunately, I know sometimes people would rather watch a movie and remember that rather than picking up a history book and reading that. Either way, I'd strongly recommend watching Judas and the Black Messiah, and it will be available on HBO Max and in theaters February 12th. So, do you plan on watching Judas and the Black Messiah? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know, what did you think about it? Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I always appreciate it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.